This video will show you how to set up a MySQL database using phpmyadmin. It's part of a series of videos which will show you how you can access MySQL databases using Java. So the first thing you need to do is go to my website, tech.tonyvalentine.com, and we're just going to go to Java and the JDBC project here. And this is part of the series which will show you how to access the SQL database using Java. Scroll down and we're doing this first lesson, setup. And this is what we're going to be doing in this video. We're going to be creating this database to query. Okay, so there's our task there at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to make sure that we've got our SQL server running. Now I'm using XAMPP for this example, so there are other things you could use. So let's just check that XAMPP is using. So I'm going to go to localhost, I'm going to go to the local machine, and I can see that everything is running, or I can see XAMPP is running because I've got the this splash screen running here. So I'll now go to phpmyadmin, and there we are. Now this is a blank install, a new install of XAMPP. So it comes like this out of the box. It's just got these few databases here. I'm going to add my own new database. So I'll go to databases, and I'm going to create a database called Bluecoat, just like it says there at the bottom corner of the screen. So I'll go there and I'll say Bluecoat, and I'll click on create. And it says there are no tables found in my database, but if we look, we want to make one table called student. So there we are, and that's going to be created with 4 columns. I actually need 5 columns for this database. I could change it here. I'll just leave it at 4 for the moment. You'll see why later on. So I'll click on go, and there we are. So I'm now ready to create the different fields for my database. The first one I'm going to create is going to be the key field, the primary key, so I'll call that ID. SQL isn't case sensitive, but there's a bit of a convention. I'm going to put all of my field names in lowercase. This is my primary key. I'm going to make this auto increment. That's what the AI stands for, and you can see it's automatically set this to be the primary key field. What this auto increment will do is will label or will number the key fields automatically, so they'll go 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, now the next thing is our table's got 4 columns of type varchar. That's SQL for string. So I'm going to make 4 fields, all of type varchar, all of type string. So the first one's going to be called forename, so I'll put that in there, and I'll change the type to varchar just like that. I need to give it a length, so I'll give it 50, and there we are. That's all I need to do for that. These other things we don't need at the moment. You can read up about those other attributes in your own time. Okay, I now need surname, so I'll stick that in there. There's varchar. And then lastly I'm going to put in gender, and I'm going to leave that as varchar as well. Oh, I forgot to give that a length. I'll give that a length of 50, and I'll give this a length of 2 because I'm going to future proof this. I had a check before I did this, and I found some people saying that there were 64 different genders or 128 genders. So if I give that a length of 2, I should have enough codes to be going on with for that one. I do need another column, but let's not worry about that for the moment. So I'll just create that there. I'll come down and click on save, and there we are. We can see my different columns coming down there. Now I need to add an extra one because I forgot to put in my one for form, so I can add 1 column after gender. Click on go, and there we are. This one here is going to be the form. That's going to be the form group that the student is in. And I should set that to varchar as well, but I'll just forget that for the moment. I'll make a little mistake here. I'll leave that as an int, and I'll save that. Okay, I said from. I made a mistake there. I said from rather than form. So let's just go back to my student table. The structure of my student table there. I'm just going to change that and call that form. That's better. So there's a little bit better there. Let's change that integer as well. Make that into a varchar. And the forms in MySQL, in Blue Coat School, are all a maximum length of 4. So I'll do that like that and click on save. So I've now got my database set up. You'll notice every time I've been doing things here in phpmyadmin, it's been creating the MySQL automatically at the top there. And if you're not sure about your MySQL, if you're not sure about how that works, don't forget you can always go to MySQL Zoo, to SQL Zoo, and that's a brilliant tutorial which will take you through how to use SQL. Okay, so back there. Okay, so I've now set up my table. I need to put some data into it. So let's insert some data. So I click on insert over here. I don't need to do anything with the ID. I've got auto increment on there. That will do that automatically. So I'm going to put some people into my database. So let's put in Joe Blogs. There he goes there. Let's say gender M for the moment. And the form he's in my school, he's in 11RW. There we go. And let's put somebody else in here. Again, I'll leave the ID blank. I've got auto increment, that'll be handled automatically. So I'll put in the forename here. So I'm going to put in Jill Doe, gender F, and the form I'll put her in 8M, just like that. And when I've done that, I can click on Go, and we can see there's the SQL. They've been inserted into my database. Let's take a look at that. If I can click on Browse here, I can actually see the students now which are in my database. So I've got that set up. I've got some other features here which I can use. I can delete those students if I wanted to. I can edit them if I want to make some changes to them later on. Back to Browse. But basically everything's there. You'll notice I've got my ID numbers coming in here automatically, 1, 2, and so on. Let's just delete Jill. There she's gone. And then let's just add somebody else back in there. So let's go back to insert again. And I'm going to put in there Joanne Jones, female, 10M. There we are. I've put her back into there. Let's browse. And there we are. So you can see I've now updated my table. You'll notice the IDs just keep incrementing. And some people don't like that. They keep saying I want to reset them, get them back to the beginning. To be honest, it doesn't matter. Those numbers are there for the computer, not for us to deal with. Okay, so there we are. We've now set up a database using phpmyadmin.